All right, Shalom Akim, Shalom Yasharallah. First off, I want to give all honor, glory, and praise unto Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Rakakwadash, and double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone for teaching us His truth to rule well. All right, I'm just gonna go, briefly into a couple scriptures because, Salakia, because apparently Jake, doesn't understand that what Scripture says is, and you have some people that say that they believe in the Bible. All right, but yet their works are contrary to the Bible, And that was one thing, this past week. I went out on Friday here in Midland, Texas, Midland, Odessa, Texas. It was around 12 o'clock in the afternoon when I went out, and as I went out, all right, I had two Jakes that came up. All right, either that man's woman or his sister, they told her to stay behind, and I saw them from the corner of my eye. They kind of waved at her to stay behind, so she sat down. And then them two came up to us, or came up to me, and then they were there talking and saying, what are you doing? And I said, I'm just preaching the word, so they got into, a couple things, and they were like, well, what are you doing out here? And I told them I'm trying to wake up my people. All right. But not all my people are going to wake up, so I'm out here waking up the elect of the Most High, which is it consists of you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, the biblical Hebrew Israelites. But not all Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans are going to come into this fold. And not everybody is going to accept the fold, just like Yahushai. Not all Negroes accepted Yahushai. There was a lot of people that betrayed him. All right. A lot of people that went against him, So this man, all right, I told him, who our mortal enemy is, which is Esau, Edom, the self-proclaimed white man. He didn't believe that. All right. I told him about reincarnation, brought out a couple scriptures and I mentioned a couple of them. He didn't believe that, what was another one? Prophecies that were going to come to pass, like who Babylon the Great is, which is America. All right. The beast being NATO, the 10 horns, EU. All right. And you have, the 7 heads, all right, which represents the Edomite nations, all right, which starts with the Greek, the Romans, Germania Major, Germania Minor. All right. You have the Spanish, the French, and you also have the English, and the 8th is of the 7th, which would be America. All right. So, I was explaining certain things to him and he wasn't accepting everything he was saying. I don't believe that. I don't believe that. And he said, and then he said that he understands what I'm saying, but he doesn't accept that I was cussing. All right. Because I believe I said, this, it's not a fucking serpent or something like that, something of that nature. Well, I went into it and I said, well, to cuss means to curse. I never sent out any curses. If you don't accept this truth, you yourself are cursing yourself, for not accepting this truth. But also, cuss means, what does it say? Salakia. It's, damn, I'm gonna have to look it up, just for the sake. I had looked it up prior, profane, because it says to swear at, and I never sweared. To curse, I never sent a curse. To use profanity, and that word profanity goes back, if I look it up right here, profane, to misuse anything. All right, down here it says origin, 1350 to 1400s, literally before, which means outside of, the temple, replacing Middle English profane, all right, which means to be outside of the temple. All right. If you're outside of the temple, then you're not holy. When you're inside of the temple, you're holy and you're separate from the world. all right? Because that word holy means separate, you know? So I was explaining these things to him, and he was like, "Do you really believe that? Do you really believe that, brother?" And I was like, "Man, that's what it is. Of course I believe, because that's exactly what it is." You know, and he was like, "I don't believe that." And I was like, "Look, man, if you don't believe in what I'm reading, scripture says to be fully persuaded in your own mind." And he was like, "That's right, that's right." And I was like, "All right, so get your own Bible. If you need one, I'll provide you with one, and you can go right across the street and preach your own thing, man." You know? And he basically just stuck around, you know, but he didn't believe in Esau, Edom being the so-called self-proclaimed white man. All right. And that was another thing that he asked. Why do you call them so-called Negroes? And I was like, because that's what they were called. You know, that's not what they really are. They're Hebrew Israelites. And people think that being a Hebrew Israelite is a religion. It's not, man. You can't be born of another nation, meaning of the 18 nations, and call yourself an Israelite if you're not born out of Israel. You see? Israel is a blood lineage, man. You know, it's not, oh, I'm an Israelite on the inside because, you know, that's what my heart feels. You know, Dave Chappelle made fun of that shit, man. All right? Dave Chappelle made fun of that shit. He was making fun of, you know, these transgenders and you know, bisexuals and the LGBTQ community. Yeah, I think I forgot a T in there. But he was making fun of him, and he was like, well, you know what? I'm going to start talking like a Chinese man. And if people look at me weird because I'm black, he was like, I'm going to tell them that's how I feel on the inside. He was like, that shit doesn't fucking work. All right? You can't say, you know, I feel Chinese on the inside, so I'm going to talk like a Chinese man. All right? Same thing with the 18 nations. There's 18 nations. If you were born out of Esau, Edom, all right, out of the father's lineage, your father's lineage is Esau, Edom, you can't be born into Israel, man. All right? That's not your lineage. That's not your heritage, you know? And people get that shit confused, man. You know, thinking that the other sheep that the Lord has is talking about, you know, these other nations, which is in John chapter 10, I believe, you know? But they think it's of other nations, you know. Matter of fact, let me see if I can find it over here. John 10. I believe it was verse 14. If I'm not mistaken. If not, then that's all right. John 10. Yep. Let me start off at verse 13. The hireling fleeth because he is an hireling and careth not for the sheep. I am the good shepherd and know my sheep. All right. John 10 and 14. I am the good shepherd and know my sheep and am known of mine. And the Father knoweth me, even so know I the Father, and I lay down my life for the sheep. And other sheep I have, all right, which are not of this fold, them also I must bring, and they shall hear my voice. And there shall be one fold and one shepherd. All right. Let me go to Isaiah 37 and 22. Just trying to prove a quick point. Isaiah 37. Oh, that's 47. 37 and 22. It says, this is the word which Yahweh hath spoken concerning him. The virgin, the daughter of Zion, hath despised thee and laughed thee to scorn. The daughter of Jerusalem hath shaken her head at thee. Salakia. I meant Ezekiel. Let me go to Ezekiel 37. All right, because the book of Ezekiel, chapter 37, is talking about the tribes coming together. You see, you have the northern kingdom, which are your so-called Latinos and natives, and then you have the southern kingdom, which is so-called Negroes, you know, of Negroid, supposed Negroid descent. Ezekiel 37 and 22, it says, and I will take them one nation in the land upon the mountains of Israel, and one king shall be king to them all, and they shall no more be two nations, neither shall they be divided into two kingdoms anymore at all. You see, so it's talking about the northern kingdom and the southern kingdom, and people think that the Gentiles is, these other nations, which is not. Romans 9 specifically says, Paul says that he magnifies his office, all right? He magnifies his office as the preacher to the Gentiles. But then in Romans 9 he says that salvation is only for the Israelites. So which one is it? All right? Which one is it? And it's because really people don't fear the Most High. All right? They don't believe in the Most High, so they don't believe in these prophecies. So this is 2nd Ezra chapter 6 and verse 1. And he said unto me, in the beginning, when the earth was made, before the borders of the world stood, or even the wind blew. All right, this is the Most High speaking. All right, before it thundered and lightened, or even the foundation of paradise were laid, before the fair flowers were seen, or even the movable powers were established, before the innumerable multitude of angels were gathered together, or even the heights of the air were lifted up, before the measures of the firmament were named, or even the chimneys of Sion were hot, and ere the present years were sought out, and or even the inventions of them that now sin were turned, before they were sealed, that have gathered faith for a treasure. Then did I consider these things, and all they and they all were done through me alone, and through none other. By me also they shall be ended, and by none other. All right, so the Most High is going to end everything. He's going to send out his angels. He's going to send out Yahweh Shai, and they're going to come back, and they're going to get his elect. All right, the Most High creates everything, man, and that's what these people lack in understanding, thinking that there's some type of demon that is walking around, that is confusing people and causing them to sin. That movie, I was trying to make a video the other day. In the movie Wonder Woman, you have Wonder Woman, Diana Prince, that went up against Ares, which is supposed to be the god of war. All right, she went up to kill him because he was forcing people to commit murder and wars and all these things, and Ares was like, no, I'm not doing any of that. All right, he was like, I didn't do any of that. I simply just sent out an idea, and they're the ones that pursue after the wickedness. He was like, they're the ones that are pursuing after their own wickedness, man. So he was telling her, I let them live, all right, and I was hoping that they would destroy themselves, all right, but I let them live long enough so that you can see and be witness to their wickedness, so that you can see and be witness to the evils that they commit. All right. So in the same manner, in a similitude, these Edomites, they're made for that. All right, they're made for destruction, and who are we to turn that back? All right, it says let's see. Then did I consider these things, and they all were made through me alone, and through none other. By me also they shall be ended, and by none other. All right, so what does that mean? That only the Most High can cause World War III? All right, the Most High has to literally come down and tell a nation to do something? No, all these things that are being played out in the planet Earth, all right, are being done and controlled by the Most High. Scriptures say that the Most High seals the instructions of man in their sleep, because when they're awake, they don't listen. All right. So these nations going up against these nations, it's all through the spirit and power, Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. All right. It says, then answered I and said, what shall be the parting asunder of the times? Or when shall be the end of the first and the beginning of it that followeth? And he said unto me, from Abraham unto Isaac, when Jacob and Esau were born of him, Jacob's hand held first the heel of Esau. All right. And that's representative of the translation that's going to happen. All right. By wickedness being gathered in the earth, the earth is translated from one people to another. You see, it says, for Esau is the end of the world. And this is the one I brought out to that man. For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. Just so Esau wouldn't be the end of the world, I asked him, if we are in the end of the world, Esau has to be ruling. Babylon the Great has to be his rulership, because Babylon is the last rulership. And I told him, what time are we living in? I don't believe that. I don't believe we're in the time of Babylon. We're in a Christian, what the hell did he say? A Christian society, or a Christian, prosperous kingdom, some shit like that. And I was like, bring that out in the scriptures. Where does it say that in the scriptures? And these Jakes, they don't bring out the scriptures, man. And it's just vexing, to have them around saying all that shit. All right. And he was saying, you have a misinterpretation of the Bible. And I told him, I asked him, well, what's the interpretation in 2 Ezra 6 and 9? For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. What can possibly be a misinterpretation of 2 Ezra 6 and 9? There is no misinterpretation. That's why they try to do away with the Apocrypha. You see? That's why they try to do away with the Apocrypha, because of the book of the Maccabees having so much wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of history, of our history, of their history. You see? That's why they try to do away with Wisdom of Solomon, because Wisdom of Solomon also tells you that God doesn't love everybody. All right? He loves his elect. He has care for his elect, not for everybody. You see? The book of Ezra is talking about the 10 tribes of Israel that went into a land called Arzareth, which means another land. You see? So all these things, man, these people have no understanding. They don't know who Esau, Edom is. All right? They don't know their mortal enemy. They don't know who they are, which are the Hebrew Israelites, so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. All right, they don't know who their power is, which is Yahweh the Most High, and Yahushua being the Son of the Most High. They don't have any type of understanding, man. And they call it misinterpretation. That's a bunch of bullshit, man. It says the hand of a man is betwixt the heel and the hand. Other questions, Ezra, asked thou not. All right, so the rulership is coming. All right, the feet. All right, the feet represents the end. All right, so the feet of Esau, Edom, all right, is the end of his rulership. The hand represents our beginning. And if you notice, Jacob's hand held the heel of Esau. That means before the end of Esau, Edom, Jacob was already going to be waking up. He didn't say the last toe. He didn't hold on to the last toe. All right. It was during, man, in those last days, all right, the last time of Esau, Edom's rulership, all right, which is America, you're going to see these men wake up. You're going to see these men prophesy. You're going to see these men speak out against those that have oppressed them. Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 5. You see? And that's what you're seeing right now. So this is Romans 9 and 21. Hath not the potter power over the clay of the same lump to make one vessel unto honor and another unto dishonor? All right. So the Most High has power to make one vessel unto honor, all right, which are the Israelites, the saints, all right, the elect, and one to dishonor, which is Esau, Edom, unto destruction, that goes into perdition. All right. So it says, what if the Most High, willing to show his wrath and to make his power known, endured with much long suffering the vessels of wrath fitted to destruction, and that he might make known the riches of his glory on the vessels of mercy which he had afore prepared unto glory, which is who? The Israelites, the elect, even us, whom he hath called, not to the Jews only, but also unto the Gentiles. You see, and they make, they make the Gentiles seem like it's something else. But ethnos, all right, means a country, a tribe, a nation, all right. Paul uses the term for the Gentile Christians. To be a Christian means to be an Israelite that follows the Messiah. All right. A multitude, whether of men or of beasts, associated or living together. All right, which are the Israelites, a company, a troop, a swarm. So it's a multitude of individuals of the same nature or genus, which is who? The Israelites, man. You know, because when you go into the word ethos, it means custom. All right, so the Israelites went into the customs of the Greeks, and that's why also Gentile, not Gentiles, but Gentile means Hellen or Hellenista. All right, which goes into the word or that is the word Hellenista, but it means, you know, to have been into the customs of the Greek, you know, whether by nationality, by nativity, or by custom. All right, you were considered a Gentile, you know. So not the Jews only, but also the Gentiles. All right. So not only the Judah, Benjamin, or Levi, but the Gentiles, which are also the 10 tribes. Those are the 10 the sheep. All right, the rest of the sheep. So let me see. I'm gonna try and end it with this one right here. Proverbs 16, and it's gonna be verse 4. Let me start with verse 1. The preparations of the heart in a man, and the answer of the tongue is from Yahweh. All the ways of man are clean in his own eyes, but Yahweh weigheth the spirits. All right, so these Christian men think that, oh, you know, we're good, we're clean, we're saved, and this and that. That's in their own eyes, you know. That's in their own eyes. But the Most High weigheth the spirits. See who's actually his and who's you know, set up for destruction. Commit thy works unto Yahweh, and thy thoughts shall be established. You see, so if you don't commit your works, you know, your faith and your reading and your studying, you know, your works unto the Most High, then your thoughts cannot be established. If you're just reading for your own gain, you know, to see what I can go against the Hebrew Israelites, just like Vocab Malone, then you're not doing it for the Most High, man. You're doing it for yourself, you know? And that's why your thoughts are not established, and that's why you can't understand the scriptures. It says, Yahweh hath made all things for himself, yea, even the wicked for the day of evil. You see, so he has stored the elect Israelites, all right, which is 1/3 of the nation, for salvation, and 2/3 for destruction, along with Esau, Edom. All right. So the Most High has set everything up, and who can turn that back, man? Who are you to say no? That's not what it is. All right. Everyone that is proud in heart is an abomination to Yahweh, and this man Esau, Edom, is very proud, man. All right. Though hand join in hand, he shall not be unpunished. You see? And you have a lot of Israelites that are just joining in hands with this wicked man, thinking that that's going to protect them. That's not going to protect them. You ain't shit, man. We ain't shit. All right? The Most High, when he comes back through Yahweh Shai and the angels, all right, he's going to establish righteousness, and he's going to purge the world of sin, or not of sin, but of the wicked, you know? Everyone that is proud in heart is an abomination unto Yahweh. Though hand join in hand, he shall not be unpunished. You see? Even though you might want to bring this unity, you know, against the Most High, it's not going to go unpunished, man. All right? He's still going to come back to purge. It says, by mercy and truth, iniquity is purged. And what is the mercy and what is the truth? The truth is the scriptures. All right? And the mercy has been shown to us, all right, through Yahweh Shai, and the mercy is shown through the rest by the prophets out in the highways and byways preaching this truth, extending out their hand. And by the fear of Yahweh, men depart from evil. All right, so if you see this kingdom, you know that it's not departed from evil, man. you know that this place is still wicked. All right. It says, when man's ways please Yahweh, he maketh even his enemies to be at peace with him. All right. And right now, what do you see? You see Babylon the Great, America, all right, being in conflicts throughout the whole world, man. You know? But when the righteous is established, the earth rejoices. All right? When the righteous is established, which is Israel, the kingdom of Israel is established, all right, you're going to see these other nations bowing down to Israel, bowing down to Yahushai, bowing down to Yahweh. And those were our enemies. They're all going to bow down. They're going to be at peace with Israel, you know? But like Ecclesiastes says, there's a time and a season, man. All right? That time for love, peace, and prosperity is not right now. This isn't a prosperous time. All right? This isn't time for peace and love to the whole world. All right? That's going to come in the kingdom. Right now, we show love and peace to the brothers that are in this truth, and prosperity by increasing wisdom, knowledge, understanding in the scriptures. All right? But not joining hands with Esau, Edom, man. All right? And that's one thing that man also brought out, you know, saying, well, you know, doesn't it say not to abhor a brother? All right? And I was like, yeah, the scripture does say that, but that's a clerical error. All right? Because instead of saying a dawam, it says Adam, which they thought it says Edom. Adam means Adam or man. All right? And that scripture doesn't say Adawam. It says Aram. Aram, which are the Syrians. You know? But that's just Jake, man. They don't study, they don't understand, they don't read, and they think that they know, but they don't. All right? They try to bring scriptures together and try to, you know, piece a couple scriptures together when they don't have the full understanding. You know, and that's what's so dangerous about not knowing, man. And you know what? Let me end it with that one. Hosea 4:6, you know, a classic. It says, my people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. Point blank, period. All right? My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. Because thou hast rejected knowledge, I will also reject thee. You see, so that's a curse unto yourself, man. When you reject the counsel of a brother, when you reject the words of wisdom, that thou shalt be no priest to me. All right. And that's what the Most High is not looking for. He's not looking for naysayers. He's not looking for a bunch of, you know, niggas, a bunch of spicks. All right. He's looking for real devout men, Seeing thou hast forgotten the law of thy God. And that's one thing he said too. The law is done away with. Where does it say that in the New Testament? It never says that. The law is done away with. I will also forget thy children. Law done away with. You know, let me end it with that one. It says, now therefore let us make the covenant with our God. Yep. It never says that. It never says law done away with. All right? The law is not done away with, man. You know, so with that, I want to give all honor, glory, and praise to Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, Bahashem Rakakwadash, double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and shalom to you fellow laborers and you brothers out there pushing this word in sincerity and in truth. Shalom.